aback a little bit because they're like, because you see the look on Betty's face when this is revealed. She's like, what? You know, she's got that WTF look on her face, like, what the blank? I'm a Blossom? And of course, they kind of acknowledge that not just is Betty a Blossom, but so is Polly. And then that's basically why Alice kind of puts two and two together as to why Hal wanted to schedule an appointment, a certain appointment for Polly. Basically because of the fact that the babies that Polly is carrying are blossoms, not just by Jason, not just because of Jason, but because of all of them. They're basically the babies that Polly is carrying are insensual babies. Yes, they are insensual babies, and they start, and basically, you know, Hal admits that's why he wanted to do the appointment, make the appointment happen because of this situation. And that's why also they had sent Polly away, because they wanted to keep her away from Jason, from the trouble that would follow. And then that's when they realized, oh crap. And then that's when realization hits them that, oh crap, if they're willing to keep Jason, basically they realize, oh crap, if they're willing to go that, if we're willing to go that far to keep, Polly away from Jason, how far are the Blossoms willing to go to keep them apart? Because they basically realize, wait a minute, no one, because right there it dawns on them why maybe there's some unstableness in the family. They realize, well, okay, Dad sent Polly away to keep her safe from Jason and the Blossoms because of this secret, but then they realize, well, if Dad's willing to go this far because he's a Blossom, and we're Blossoms in a sense, how far are the Blossoms that are there now, how far are the Blossoms willing to go to separate both Jason and Polly? And it's like, oh crap, we need to get over there now, because it's like it's like they realize, oh crap, they'll go beyond just trying to, because it's like, oh crap, we got to get them out of there. We got to get our daughter out of there. So they go over there in the middle of the night, and basically this surprises the Blossoms. They're like, what the hell are you doing here? What the heck? And Alice is like right in their face. She's like, hey, don't bother calling the police. We know we're here to take our daughter home. You know, Polly tells her dad, look, I'm okay, when he asks her if she is. And basically the Blossoms want to know what's going on here. Because they think Polly has, because they basically tell the Coopers, hey, look, you want to take her home. Hey, she is home. She chose to be here. And that is when Alice says, oh, really? Well, how about the truth? Truth, huh? How about you tell the truth about your family? And that's when Alice reveals what Hal revealed to them. That basically, Polly and Betty's great-grandpa wasn't just killed by a Blossom, he was a Blossom because both he and Cheryl's great-grandpa, were brothers. So basically, one brother killed the other, obviously. And things just get heated from there because the accusation, everybody's been saying for months, since the show came out, is there incense here? And boy, is there ever incense, if you will. But it's not Cheryl and Jason. The twist here is it's Jason and Polly, but they didn't know it. They didn't know that they were related at all. Thus, the incense was unknown. But what really drives the Blossoms to the point that they finally get Polly out of there, they say, okay, because Alice goes right up there, grabs her daughter and says, you're coming home now, because Polly is just like shocked. She's almost like sick to her stomach when she finds out about this. And Penelope, Cheryl's mom, because even Hal can't believe this. She's like, hey, nothing could be more purely Blossom than those babies. And that's what makes Polly a little sick to her stomach. It's like, that is gross. And even Hal's like, what the hell's wrong with you people? And even Clifford, he tries to come to defense and say, look, they weren't even really much related. They're just what, third, fourth cousins, whatever. But still, this is just enough. But Alice and them, and they've had enough. They get Polly out of there, and Polly, she doesn't argue or anything. She goes with them. Cheryl's a little shocked by this. You can see that again, she's still on the fence. Like, wait a minute, because they even bring up the fact that FP's confession has holes in it. Alice brings up the fact that, oh yeah, FP did confess, but there's some holes. There's some missing parts to it. Like, why? Like, what is really going on? What is he hiding? Is he hiding the fact that you guys know about the incense? The incense? Is that what he's hiding? So, anyway, they get Polly out of there. Penelope grabs Betty by the arm and saying she made a big mistake. And you kind of see a little bit of that more stern, dark Betty come out and says, Dark Betty, look, kind of that more stern, serious, dark Betty come out a bit. And she says, no, I didn't, and I won't stop, and I won't. And she basically says, I don't think so, and I won't stop until I find out, or something like that. So basically, Betty just looks her straight in the eye and says, look, I'm not going to stop until the truth comes out. So, yeah, the Blossoms are not too happy about this, so they lose out on the daughter, and the investigation still is kind of wide open. Even Archie gets his mom, who's there for a visit, to act like FP's attorney to find out what's going on, and with the only exception of finding out about Joaquin being the only phone call that FP had, FP still sticks to his story. He even sticks to it when Jughead, at Archie's mom's suggestion, goes and visits his dad to find out the truth, find out why, and he still sticks to his story. But you can see after Jughead leaves that FP is in pain. He's like he is crying, he's breaking down because he just lied to his son about being involved in this whole thing. So yeah, the Blossom. So yeah, a lot of stuff's going down. And Betty gets a phone call from Jughead, who says after visiting his father, knowing his father, that his father's not telling him the truth. That he knows his father, that after talking to him, is not telling him the real deal. Is not telling him the truth. So they have to find out some more. They go along with Kevin to confront Joaquin, and Kevin looks at Joaquin and he says, look, I'm not talking to you as your boyfriend. I'm talking to you as the sheriff's son. I want the truth. So Joaquin explains how he got involved, and we go into another flashback where they discover Jason's body. And one thing AfterBuzz did point out is how FP in this flashback looked at the body like he didn't expect to see this. It's like maybe he was paid to capture Jason, tie him up and everything, kind of torture him and all that, and then maybe let him go. He didn't expect to probably come back and see a dead body. So anyway, Joaquin mentioned how he was involved, how he helped clean up the mess, how they stored the body in the ice box and everything. So basically, that puts Joaquin on the accomplice list of puts him on the list of being an accomplice to a crime. And so this kind of severs the ties between Kevin and Joaquin, because later on, as Joaquin is leaving town, he tells Kevin one last thing to let his friends know, and we find out that there's one more thing, that FP obviously is a lot smarter than he seems to be as well, because he seems to be a step ahead of things. It's like I mentioned in the video, in the two-part video, which this is also becoming, when I did my theories on who could be the killer, I said FP always seemed to be a step ahead, and obviously he was, because somehow he, along with the Serpents, gained access to the security video, or some kind of video, that was filmed of Jason's actual murder. So they go back to the Blossoms Maple Farm area, they search, they find Jason's jacket, they go back. Archie's wondering, okay, how is this supposed to help? Even, no one, and Archie along with everybody's wondering, how is this supposed to help? There's no real evidence besides this just being a jacket. How's this supposed to help? Right? So Betty's like, no, there's got to be more to it, because they're all starting to believe now that FP's the killer, that FP's the one that did it. But Betty's still determined. As Kevin says at the end of the scene, being very Nancy Drew-like, tells Archie to put on the jacket, even though Archie feels like it's a little weird, a little creepy putting on a dead person's jacket. And she's searching the pockets. She's got a glove on and everything, so she's searching the pockets. Smart move by Betty, putting on a glove, a latex glove, to kind of like keep her fingerprints off. So she's looking in the pocket. She noticed there's a hole in there. Everybody brushes that off like, oh, it probably was there, or maybe it was the struggle or something like that. But she says, no. She basically says, no. When I have a hole in my jacket, I usually lose things like my lipstick or something like that. And even Veronica says same thing happens with her. And lo and behold, that's exactly what happened here, because inside the hole in the pocket she uses to dig into the jacket, she pulls out a flash drive. That's right, she pulled out a flash drive that was in the pocket of Jason Blossom's jacket. Well, it fell through the hole of the pocket in Jason Blossom's jacket. So they put it on. So they put the flash drive in. They see it's the video from the night Jason died. It's basically a video footage of Jason Blossom's murder, and that they see who the murderer is. They see who killed Jason. So Polly comes up. So Polly gets up on this. Everybody's in tears. Veronica's in the most emotion because she can't believe someone would do this. Betty has a bit of a tear in her eye, even though the actress says that she may have had some she was tired that day, and maybe that's why the tear came down. So everybody's just shocked, full of emotion, like they can't believe what the scene. So basically Betty gets up, calls up Cheryl, and explains to her what they seen, what they found, and what they had seen. Cheryl, she thanks them, says thank you, I understand. She puts the phone down. She get a close-up view of her eyes with a tear coming down. She takes a slow walk down the stairs. You kind of focus on her. You kind of start seeing her take that slow walk down the stairs, just like in the funeral episode. She goes down to the dinner table. The parents are wondering what's up, and she stands right next to her mom, because she knows her mom is not going to like what she's about to hear. And she just looks at her daddy and says, "Daddy, you did a very bad thing." Says, "You did a very bad thing." And the mother looks at Clifford like, what does she mean? And even though we don't see it, apparently she tells her dad, "I just got a phone call." Basically, even though we don't see it, that's the one thing about this episode, we don't see the full explanation. But basically she reveals, obviously off screen, that she got the phone call, all finding out that he's the one that killed Jason Blossom. He's the one that did it. And he's the one that killed Jason. He's the one that killed Jason, and that's how they got the engagement ring, stuff like that. And obviously, the next time we see Clifford, well, let's just say it's not in a good way. So after she confronts her parents, mostly her dad, about it, we get basically a flashback to them watching the video, and we finally see the video. And basically it's one of the supers, Mustang, who dies in this episode as well, dies of an overdose or something like that, because Joaquin leads them to Mustang, because Joaquin overheard something between Mustang and Forsyth, FP. So they go to the hotel that Mustang's staying at, and Archie's the one that discovers Mustang dead in the tub by an overdose. And then this, of course, leads them to find. This, of course, leads the police to come over there. They're wondering why they're there and everything. They say, "Hey, we're just trying to help out. We were tipped off that something was going on over here, whatever." And on top of finding a dead body, they end up, one of the sheriff's officers finds a bag full of money with the initials HC on there, or HL on there, which basically obviously is Hermione's bag, but Veronica, real quick to cover up for her mom, defend her mom, says, no, it's my dad's bag, not my mom's. And her mom kind of plays along with it, say, yeah, and we don't want to say anything until we get an attorney to talk to. So after that, they go back to the house, and Hermione, after she closes the door, starts sliding down, and just like breaks down, almost like she's having almost a heart attack or a breakdown. Veronica's there to catch her. It's like, because Hermione knows that the bag they found with the money was hers and not her husband's. But anyway, getting back on topic here, they watch the video. We get a flashback of Archie, of Betty and them watching the video, and we finally get to see who the killer was and everything. And basically, Alice. The next thing we see is Alice. After Cheryl confronts her dad and says, "Hey, you did a very bad thing," and they go to commercial, and then the next thing we see is them coming back from commercial. Alice comes into the sheriff's office, I think with Fred Andrews and Hal, and says, and with said flash drive, and says, "Hey, you need to look at this." And the sheriff, he ends up seeing the same thing that Betty, Archie, Veronica, Kevin, and Jughead did, and we finally see it as well. We see that Mustang was poking poking and kind of torturing just a little bit more, poking at Jason a little bit more, and then he leaves, and then that's when Jason's father comes in, grabs the engagement ring out of his pocket, puts it in his pocket, and then turns around and then shoots him. So yeah, basically the sheriff sees that, okay, Forsythe didn't do it, Jughead's dad didn't do it. However, Jughead's dad still tampered with a lot of evidence. He still was accessible. He was still an accomplice in a crime. He still messed with the evidence. He messed cleaning up. He messed with touching the body, cleaning up the evidence. So yeah, he's still being arranged for that. He's basically, we find out he's not going to get out for a long time, at least for maybe half of next season, in my opinion. So yeah, basically Jughead's dad is off, so obviously Jughead's dad is off the hook as far as the murder goes, but he's not off the hook with the fact that he tampered with the evidence. But we do find out why he confessed, because Clifford, as we find out earlier, went to go visit him, but we don't know why he visited Forsythe or FP, and we find out why, because he basically tells him, "Hey, look, if you don't take the fall for what I did to Jason, then what I did to him will happen to your son." So basically he's threatening for FP with the fact that if FP doesn't confess to the murder, what he did to Jason by killing him will happen to Jughead. So yeah, so yeah, basically FP was put in between a rock and a hard place until the sheriff saw the video evidence. Now, what's even strange about this is at the end, Jughead's narrating how everything is happening, how the families are still kind of not repaired yet, things are not fixed, but even though one mystery has come to an end, another mystery arrives. Like, why did Clifford Blossom kill his son? What was the motive? And that only Clifford Blossom knows the truth, and only Clifford Blossom can answer that. However, Clifford Blossom can't answer it because the next time we see him, he has hung himself in the barnyard of the Blossom's house, on the Blossom's property,